What's up, everybody? Something a little different today. So I wanted to go through, I basically went back the past 6 months and looked at a bunch of products that I ripped quite a bit of. Now, not every single product you see on this list here of these rankings is something that I opened a ton of. Most of them, however, I opened a ton of. So I had a huge sample size and I wanted to do kind of a 6 month recap video, hand out the top 10 in terms of grades and basically which sets that I like the most and which sets that I don't like the most. And we're going to work our way backwards from number 10 to number 1. I only have one that got a complete failing grade. Some of you can probably guess what that is. We're going to start with that one at number 10, and then we're going to work our way to number 1. Just some programming notes. So we got this video here today. Tomorrow we're going to take off for the baseball channel. There will be a football profit challenge. So head over to the football channel if you want some content on Sunday. On Monday, we're doing Bowman Chrome Hobby Profit Challenge, a one-off. So that should be pretty cool. The first Bowman Chrome Hobby that we opened was phenomenal. So that'll be interesting. I wish that one we opened was the profit challenge, but this one will still be interesting. And then I did a thing. So on, what day was it? Wednesday or Thursday? I noticed that Blowout Cards had released 2022 Topps Holiday, and they were about 35 a box. Typically holidays 30 a mega, so only a $5 increase. And that is Bobby Witt, Julio Rodriguez, Hunter Green, Cal Raleigh, Big Dumper, rookie cards. I'm doing a full case profit challenge with 2022 Topps Holiday. So that is going to be coming up. We are going to, it should be, honestly, it should be a lot of fun. Holiday is not everybody's favorite set, but we're going to do, we have nothing to rip right now until my Bowman Chrome mega boxes get here. So we're looking for something to fill the time, and chasing Bobby Witt and Big Dumper rookie cards and short prints and autographs. That sounds like a fun time to me. So that's what we got coming up. All right, let's get started. You guys and gals know I am the biggest card optimist that you're going to find. I love all things collecting. I love all things hobby. I love the business side of it. More importantly, I love the hobby side of it, the collecting side of it. I am an optimist. I don't really do negativity. I think it's a disease. I think it's a waste of time, but you're about to hear me be negative. The first set that we have to talk about, coming in at number 10 with an F, a failing grade, is 2025 Topps Chrome. All formats. I'm convinced that 2025 Topps Chrome is the worst product that has ever been made. And I know that you could make the case 2022 Sonic or whatever those boxes are, they were horrible. They omitted short prints and left out some of the key rookies and stuff. That was a really bad set. Quality control was terrible. But this year's 2025 Topps Chrome, big fat F, huge failing grade. It's been so bad. And really the last straw for me, if you guys missed it, I opened the Fanatics exclusive megas, and those 3 boxes, it's never hard for me to be positive. It was hard for me to be positive. They were horrendous, and we'll get into that in a minute. What is the good in Topps Chrome? There's not a lot of good, so I'll start with that. Number 1, for me, I'm not speaking for everybody, the quality control on this year's Topps Chrome was very good for me. Actually one of the better years for me for quality control. Centering, scratches, especially with numbered cards, I thought it was really good. And the other thing I liked about this year's Topps Chrome, the insert sets. I was a big fan of the inserts. A lot of the ones that they put out, they looked really cool. There was big names in the insert sets. That's it. That's all I got for the good. I'm sorry. The bad. Let's get into the bad. Number 1, way too far expanded auto checklist. This is what buried the product. Too many players that we've never heard of. You just can't have 29-year-old relief pitcher autographs in here that are flying out of here left and right. It seemed like 85 to 90% of the autographs were people that nobody had heard of. And that really hurt this product. Like, even if you get mid-level rookie autos that aren't worth a ton, at least you can say, hey, look, I pulled this guy's rookie auto, and it's somebody cool. There were almost all of the autos that I pulled, I had never heard of the guys. So expanded auto checklist, terrible idea. They need to bring that back down. Also, this was printed to the moon, and that's part of the expanded auto checklist. The more autos they expand to and print, the more overall base and everything else that they can print with this product. They printed this way too high, and guess what? It is sitting on the shelves everywhere. You can't find baseball cards where I come from, okay? My stores never have them. These things, all formats are sitting on the shelves. Blasters, megas, does not matter what it is. They're sitting on the shelves and no one is buying them. And there's a multitude of reasons, but way overprinted. Next thing that was bad, Cal Raleigh being omitted from the set was a horrendous misstep by them. And look, I've said this before. I don't know if I said it in our Discord or where I said it, but they should make this right if Cal wins. Cal just hit 60 bombs. His betting odds as soon as he hit 60 bombs went way up. He's now favored to win the MVP, even though I know Judge hit a home run last night. Look, they should make it right and say, all right, we're going to honor Shohei, we're going to honor Judge because we screwed up, and we're also going to honor Cal Raleigh and update. If they wanted to win some kudos back to the hobby fans, that's what they should do. They should honor Aaron Judge as a buyback as well as Ohtani, and then still give you buyback credit for Cal Raleigh for update because they dropped the ball so hard. How is Cal Raleigh not in the set? The guy has hit 30 home runs in back-to-back seasons. Now, yeah, he didn't have 60 last year, but he had 30 home runs in back-to-back seasons. He's one of the better catchers in all of baseball, and he's not in the set. That's crazy. So that was a huge omission. The price point was bad. It's $40 for a blaster. Like, good luck. Good luck getting 10 back if you're lucky, and especially if you don't pull buybacks. And then with the Judge situation, you may pull a buyback and it may not matter. So price point was also bad. And the last thing, like I said, those Fanatics megas, go watch the video. You can't believe how bad it is. There was no inserts. I was frustrated as I was ripping, and I wasn't even realizing that they had no inserts in there because I was concerned because all I saw was the Topps exclusive parallels. And I didn't see any regular refractors. I didn't see any ray waves. It was like there was nothing in there. It was like, here's your 10 exclusive Topps parallels, no inserts, no other parallels. That's it. We pulled one numbered card in 3 boxes. It was like $200 worth of sealed boxes, and we got 30 back, maybe 30 or 40. We didn't do a profit challenge on it, but if we did, it would have been horrible. So my only F, my only failing grade, coming in at number 10, one of the worst sets of all time. And by the way, the rookie checklist was not great either. So that was working against Chrome as well. 2025 Topps Chrome, number 10. Number 9, 2025 Topps Series 1. They get a D. This set was not great at all either. There was, in terms of the good things, the rookie class was actually pretty solid. I mean, you had James Wood and Jacob Wilson in there. It helped to bring up that set a little bit. But again, printed to the absolute moon. Just wait. Now, Series 1 is always going to be printed higher than Series 2, and it's always going to be printed higher than Update. That's just how it goes. It's like that every single year. If you go back, I mean, I've only been back into this since 2020. If you go back and look, universal across the board, Series 1 is printed too high. But in this case, they just again, they went way overboard. It was way too hard to pull any type of hits out of Series 1. And we got lucky. I mean, one of my best hits from Series 1 was a Jacob Wilson canvas out of 50, 1 of 50, Jacob Wilson canvas rookie. I did hit that. I hit some other decent cards as well, but I opened case after case of that product. I opened a ton of it. So even though the rookie class was decent, I still give it a D because just too high, just way too high of a print run on that one. 2025 Topps Tier 1 comes in at number 8. Now, I didn't open a lot of this, but I have a take on this. I don't think it's a hot take. You can let me know in the comments if it is. They get a D+. What was the good part of Tier 1? The good part is the design. I actually like the design this year. Tier 1 always looks pretty similar, but this year's design it had like a little bit of a museum collection type of design for the base anyways, and I didn't hate it. I thought that the cards looked really good. What's the bad part? Well, Topps markets Tier 1 as a high-end product, right? You can't have sticker autos in this product. I think that if I was running the show at Topps, the first thing I would say when anybody brought up tier one, I would say, all right, cool, let's get rid of all sticker autos. Because if we're going to claim that this is a high-end product, you have to have on-card autos. That's why you guys will never see me open a lot of tier one, because I'm not paying crazy price, $300 for a box with 3 cards in it where I'm going to get a sticker auto. It's exactly what happened to me. I got an on-card auto with Jim Rice, which is a cool card. It's not worth a lot, but I don't always care about the value. If I'm pulling cool stuff, I don't care. Then I got a patch auto, which should be an exciting thing, but it was a Tanner Houck patch auto with a sticker auto instead of a Tanner Houck patch on-card auto, which to me would have held a lot more appeal. I sold that card because the sticker, I'm not like against, like fully against sticker autos. I mean, for certain sets, I just opened Panini Prospect Edition. That set's loaded with sticker autos, but it's a low price point. That's the difference. If you're gonna have, if you're gonna claim something as high end, you got to get rid of the sticker autos. So that's a D plus for me. Next up, 2025 Bowman. Now this is not Bowman Chrome. This is 2025 Bowman, like the regular blasters and hobby, the first Bowman that gets released each year. I gave this a C plus. Excuse me. C plus for 2025 Bowman. I had some success with this product. What's the good part? Really, 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 really good prospect class. C plus might even be low. I didn't see as much success as other people did in this product, but a really good class. You had Jesus Mate, Luis Pena, you had Jonah Tong, Kevin McGonigal, Charlie Condon, Slade Caldwell, J.J. Weatherholt. It was kind of a loaded, I think, a loaded prospect class, which gave you an opportunity to get, better numbered cards. I was lucky with McGonigal. I pulled a couple of his nice cards. Pulled a really nice Pena. Autograph-wise, hit a Charlie Condon purple first Bowman auto color match. I mean, that was awesome. That came from Hobby. So Bowman really, really made up for it with a good class. And I also like the inserts, the Rockstar rookies and the VIP inserts and stuff like that. So I think they did a good job with that. The bad, retail was so hit or miss. So if you opened Bowman blasters like I did, I opened a ton of them, multiple cases. You either got a loaded blaster or a complete dud blaster. And that was the frustrating part for me, is that retail, you could open 4 blasters and pull 1 numbered card, or you could open 4 blasters and pull 9 numbered cards. So it was really hit or miss. You kind of had to have a lot of luck. But overall, even though I'm giving this a C+, I actually had a lot of fun with 2025 Bowman. I would rip more of it for sure because of the prospect class. Mate Pena looked to be the part. Tong has had his moments where he's looked good for the Mets, and he dominated in the minors. McGonigal is going to be one of the top 10 prospects in baseball. Condon, Caldwell, Weatherholt, real high-end prospects. So I do like 2025 Bowman, but they're outranked by some on this list. Next up at number 6, 2025 Topps Heritage. I'm going to give it a B-. And this is kind of a funny one. The good part, way more parallels. You got all kinds of blue borders and blue border, red border, and sparkles and these sparkles. The bad part, more parallels. I know that doesn't make sense. I'm a Heritage traditionalist. I can't decide whether I'm giving this a B- because I love Heritage every year. I cannot decide if more parallels is good or bad. As somebody who runs a business, it's a good thing because you have more parallels and people want to buy them. So that's great. I make my living off of basically selling low-end parallels very cheap on my website, which is great. Or I put them into those team box lots that I do. So it's great. Like Heritage gives me a lot of parallels. But man, back in the day, it used to be so fun opening Heritage because you wouldn't get anything for 4 boxes and then boom, you get an awesome hit. And it felt different back in the day. And I know there's a lot of people who feel the same way I do about Heritage, that they're kind of undecided. We've entered a new era of Heritage, and I don't know if I like it or not. But 2025 Topps Heritage, I did have a little bit of success, not as much success as other sets, but I didn't hate the set. B- for me. Next up, this set's pretty underrated. 2025 Topps Series 2. I gave this a B. The hits in this, here's the good part. The hits in this set seem to be twice as plentiful as like a Series 1. I was pulling way more hits out of this. The overall checklist and the set was underrated. Now, The bad part of this set is it was not the best rookie checklist. Admittedly, the rookie class was not the best. But the overall checklist was propped up by, you had Mookie in there, you had Ohtani. There was things to like about that checklist, and then the fact that the hits were coming out at a better rate, that made that a fun set to open for me. I actually have held on to some Series 2. I have a couple jumbos left that I'm just holding on to. I liked that set a lot. My biggest hit from Series 2, you guys probably remember, was the Mookie Betts autograph, and that came from a hanger. Series 2 retail was actually pretty good. Like, you weren't pulling bangers all the time, but the hanger boxes for Series 2, I had a lot of success. So I'm giving Series 2 a B for 2025 Topps. Next up, 2024 Topps Heritage High Number. Number 4, I'm giving this a B+. What's the good part? The best rookie class you could imagine, pretty much, with Paul Skeens, Jackson Merrill, Jackson Churio, Holiday, Langford, all those guys. I really like that rookie class. I believe long-term in a lot of these players. And Skeens is going to prop up any set when you're pulling his rookies, obviously. The added parallels kind of started with high number. Like, we saw that before 2025 Heritage came out, where they started throwing in these extra parallels. And for high number, I loved it because of the rookie class. Because every time I seemed to open that set, I was pulling those key rookie parallels. So, plus Heritage High Number is always a significantly smaller checklist than regular Heritage. Like 2025 Heritage, Topps Heritage Regular, that's a big checklist. It's hard to pull the guys you want. Heritage High Number was a lot different. It was a very small checklist, and it was easy to hit those rookies. The bad news, availability was very difficult to get this set. Hobby was pretty tough, and it's a lot. It's funny. It's easier now. If you look now, you can find some decent deals on Heritage High Number out there. But man, in the beginning, it wasn't the easiest set to get your hands on, and we have another set like that coming up as well. All right, let's get to the 3 GOAT sets. Number 3 at an A- 2024 Topps update. I miss this set every day. So similar to High Number, best rookie class you could imagine. I mean, all the guys that I just mentioned, and it just was so loaded from top to bottom. Every time I opened that set, I had success. And here's the thing, especially from retail. Retail across all formats was phenomenal. I don't care what you opened, blasters, hangers, everything was amazing. So 2024 update, like for me as somebody, like I open hobby product obviously on the channel now as I've grown, but I'm a retail guy. I've always opened a ton of retail, and that was one of the best retail sets I can ever remember. And I pulled banger after banger from that set. The bad news for update for 2024, that was availability issue and still is today. That set is very difficult to get your hands on at a reasonable price and you knew that was going to happen with that rookie class. It is so hard to find that set reasonable. So the only downside, the only reason it's an A- is I can't get my hands on it anymore. Next up, at number 2, I'm giving it an A, Panini Prospect Edition. That's right. You can hate me all you want. If you missed that series, it was the best series in the history of the channel, the best profit challenge in the history of the channel. I got extremely lucky, but there was a lot of things to like, which was the reason that I bought the set to begin with. I watched a couple of case breaks, and I went, wow, I'm seeing big name after big name fly out of here. So I did research. I looked at the checklist, and I went, are you kidding me with this autograph checklist? You're going to give me a case of these, this 20-box case, 120 autographs, and I got these names on here? Stacked, absolutely loaded. Nick Kurtz, Paul Skeens, Mizorowski. I mean, I could go on forever. Luke Keeschall. Prospect after prospect after prospect that was phenomenal. The most loaded auto checklist I've ever seen. Next, this is an important point, too. Case hits that actually matter. So we all know Topps is screwing up with home field advantages. I wish I could get in there and talk to somebody. Home field advantages need to be printed way lower, not 10,000 per home field, 1,000. Cut that by 10, a factor of 10. The thing about Panini Prospect Edition is the kabooms, if you pull the right guy, hold huge value even though they're unlicensed. I pulled the Nick Kurtz kaboom, and and I sold it. And it was honestly like I knew that they had good value coming in, but they're holding value because the Kaboom is such a popular football insert. So even though it's unlicensed in baseball, a case hit that matters is super important when you're buying a case of a product. Also, hits galore, just numbered cards and autos galore at an incredibly reasonable price point. Now, I got the case for $2,000, which was $100 per box, right? As soon as my series dropped and people started buying that set off of Blowout, they actually increased the price because I think they were getting so much traffic on that set. A lot of people reached out to me via email, in our Discord, wherever, and said, hey man, check this out. I bought Panini Prospect Edition. I pulled a Paul Skeens Kaboom. Hey man, I pulled a Dylan Cruz Kaboom. Hey, I pulled a Paul Skeens Auto to 10. I mean, I have dozens of emails and messages of people who had success opening the product. The bad, here's the bad. It's unlicensed. Some people don't like that. Not me. I don't care. If you have a good checklist, I don't need a logo on there to make me happy. I wanted a Nick Kurtz autograph. I ended up getting one. I wanted a Skeens autograph to sell. I just put that purple Skeens to 49 that we pulled on the website because I already have his rookie auto. I pulled the Skeens 1 of 1, which is the most ridiculous pull in the channel history, a 1 of 1 Skeens rookie. That set is phenomenal. The only reason I didn't give it an A+, the only reason is because it is unlicensed, and I don't want everyone to run out and buy that set, if I'm being honest, because I do think that my success that I had is not an indication of what you should expect from that product. So that's why it's not an A+. I would not encourage people to buy it. I said that on the series a couple times because, you know, I know how lucky I got. That was crazy. 2 of the best names in the set, 2 of the most valuable cards you could ever pull from the set. We did. But honestly, I had so much fun with that product that I'm considering doing it again next year. And coming in at number 1, A+, 2025 Topps Finest. I love Topps Finest. Let's start with the bad, because there's only one bad thing about it, in my opinion. The price point wasn't perfect for everyone. This was an expensive set. Obviously, Topps Finest is a hobby-only product, right? So you can't go out and get blasters of it. 2 autos per box, very expensive when it was dropped. And then if you didn't get it, secondary market, almost impossible, because you knew you were going to get crushed if you bought it on the secondary market. Let's get to the good, because the good is a long list. First of all, beautiful design. Topps Finest every year has a very similar design year to year. I really liked this year's design more than others, and quality control with Finest, it just seems to be at another level. Every Topps Finest card that I pulled, every single one, I couldn't find a flaw with any of them. I barely had any type of corner issues, which with Chrome you don't usually. But I barely had any corner issues. I barely had any scratching issues. Like, you guys remember Archives, which didn't make this list, by the way, just because it was beyond 6 months ago. I just did this in the last 6 months. Otherwise, Archives would have been in the top 5 easily. But Archives' biggest problem was all the foil cards and all the numbered cards had scratches all over them. Finest, for me, I'm not speaking for everybody, like I said, but for me, my experience, quality control was absolutely phenomenal. Numbered hits. You just were guaranteed to get almost a numbered card in every single pack. That's what we want when we're spending top dollar on a higher end product. All the autos, most of them, unless you pulled like a patch auto, was on card, which is great. That's what we want to see. And the auto checklist, this is probably the biggest key. The auto checklist was an amazing mix of prominent veterans, rookies, and legends. So you got legends of the game that we're all fans of when we were growing up, and those were flying out of here at a pretty good rate. Guys, you know, like, and it might not even be like huge superstars like Juan Gonzalez, Justin Morneau. Those are 2 that I pulled. They were fun names to pull because I wasn't pulling some 29-year-old relief pitcher. I was pulling guys that I remember growing up. That's what I'm talking about. The rookie checklist was better than Chrome because Nick Kurtz was in there. Now, Kurtz was in Chrome as well, but Kurtz had base versions, so you could pull numbered cards. Topps Chrome, I think he only just had autos. So, like, the odds, what were the odds? You were pulling relief pitcher autos. Kurtz brought a lot more value. Some of the rookies, Christian Campbell, Luke Keyshaw, they were not in flagship yet. So they brought a lot more value and appeal to Finest. And also, man, if you bought a sealed case, you were almost guaranteed to pull a whale or two. I mean, our best pull from Finest, you could argue. I mean, I had a ton. Probably, so we had a Scooble to 20. We had a Scooble pearl refractor, Yamamoto autograph numbered to 25. I mean, I could sit here all day and tell you about the Finest hits. And I don't think it was a lucky case. That's the biggest difference between this and Prospect Edition is my I'm a little jaded on Prospect Edition because I had so much success. Topps Finest, everyone was having success. So I really, really love that set. If the secondary market pricing wasn't so high, I liked it so much that I would go back and get more because I just thought it was just the best rip. Now, some people would argue, like with Finest, like you get more value for the cards if you sell right away when the set's like new, like if you're a seller. But I don't care because a lot of the stuff I pulled, I wasn't even selling anyways. It was PC stuff. I did sell some of my bigger hits, but I was able to keep that Scooble Pearl, which is one of my favorite cards I've ever pulled. Super awesome card. So I'm going Topps Finest, number 1, A+. So I might do this more often. I had fun kind of going through the rankings of this. And again, this isn't everything I've opened in the past 6 months. We have done other products. These are the most prominent ones. Most of these I either have a hot take on or I've opened a ton of it. So that's kind of why I structured this the way I did this time around for this video. So like I said, we're taking tomorrow off. If you want some more content, head over to the football channel to watch a profit challenge. And then you got to come back Monday. Bowman, Chrome, Hobby Box profit challenge is going to be awesome. I can't wait to do that. Hopefully we have as much success as we did in the first video. If you want to continue to follow along with all the content, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.